Plainview EMT is back at work helping her neighbors fight COVID, even though her own husband was a victim of the virus.
Matthew Stell sat down with her today, and Matthew, most folks probably can't even imagine what she's going through.
Yeah, Lauren and Brian, Kathy Webster loves her sons, her job at Covenant Medical Center in Plainview, and also her husband Larry, who sadly is no longer with us.
We got married. We've been married for 22 years. He was a total opposite of me. He was a kid who grew up in the city. I grew up in the country, but we got along. About 15 years ago, he was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré, which is a virus that attacks the lining of your nerves. And he had some residuals of that. He had chronic pain, chronic fatigue. We knew that if he got this virus, that it would probably be devastating for him because he was on medications that suppressed his immune system. So he was compromised, and we were very careful. We were those people who wiped down their groceries when they brought him home. He stayed home for months and months. Our son stayed home from school for months. We didn't go places. I would go to work and I would come home and stay on the other side of the house for 4 days. So the end of July is when Larry and I tested positive. He was at home for about 4 days with a very high fever. It was a 10-minute drive to the ER, and neither one of us said anything to each other. And when he got there and I dropped him off, I didn't know if I would see him again. And that was very hard. And then he was at Covenant for 3 weeks in ICU, intubated. I asked him if I could come see him, and when I saw him and put my eyes on him, I knew that he was already gone. It was very obvious. To think about coming back to work and working with people who had COVID and being with people who were going through the same thing that I had just gone through was just, it was too hard to even imagine. But I knew that I had to. I had been a caregiver to my husband for a long period of time. I was a caregiver at home, and then I would come to work. I was a caregiver at work. It's what I did. The other day, there was one of our ER doctors had to talk to a family member about their brother passing away. And I just happened to be standing there, and I could see the pain on his face. And I knew how the brother felt because I was that person on the other line. Even if you don't believe in wearing a mask because somebody tells you to, you should wear a mask because you care about the people in your community. Even if you don't have the same Christmas that you always had, you'll have other Christmases. Maybe somebody else, my boys, won't ever have another Christmas with their dad.
Larry Webster died on August 25th at the age of 56. He leaves behind 3 sons, one of them a senior in high school. Kathy says still to this day they're not exactly sure how Larry got coronavirus because he always wore his mask, and she hopes you'll do the same too. Brian.
My goodness, Matthew, thank you so much.